name is Marlina Arby from 07 SIGE004. I want to explain about language, thought and culture in Introduction to Psycholinguistics. Psycholinguists and linguistic anthropologists share a common concern with a relationship between language and thought. Before that, I want to explain about the definition of language, thought, and culture. Language, thought, and culture are interconnected aspects of human existence, each influencing and shaping the others. The first one is the definition of language. It refers to a system of communication that uses symbols, sound, gesture, or mark to convey meaning. It is a structured way of expressing thought, ideas, and emotion. For example of language is English, Spanish, Mandarin, Arabic, and all example of different languages spoken around the world. Include bahasa. Definition of thought. Thought refer to the mental process of completing, reasoning, or considering ideas, perception, and concept. It encompasses the cognitive activities that occur within the mind. For example, reflecting on various options before making a decision involves the process of thought. And then the definition of culture. Culture denotes the shared custom, belief, art, social institution, and behavior of a particular group or society. It encompasses the practice and values that distinguish a community from others. For example, cultural practice such as traditional ceremonies, ritual, and celebration reflect that shares value and belief within a society. And for the second topic, I am going to explain about the relationship of language, thought, and culture. Language, thought, and culture are interwoven in complex and reciprocal ways. Language serves as a vehicle for expressing thought, and it is deeply influenced by cultural norms and values. At the same time, culture shapes the way individuals think as it provides the context in which thoughts are performed and expressed. And to the next topic is a linguistic relativity hypothesis. It means the idea that the structure and vocabulary of a language can shape the way its speaker perceive the word and think about the concept. And B is the influence of habitual pattern of thought, means the notion that the way people habitually think is influenced by the culture and linguistic experience. And C, approach of psycholinguists and linguistic anthropologists is the study of how language and culture interact, focusing on how language influence cognitive process, social interaction, and cultural practice within specific communities. And there is four theories regarding dependence of thought and a culture on a language. The first one is speech is essential for thought. This theory suggests that the ability to articulate thought through speech is fundamental for the development and organization of complex ideas. For example, in Indonesia, in rural part of Indonesia, where access to formal education is limited, children often rely on verbal communication to convey their thought and ideas, demonstrating the essential role of speech in development of their cognitive abilities. And language is essential for thought. This theory proposes that language as a structured system of communication is necessary for the formulation of complex thought and ideas. And then language determines or shapes our perception of nature. This theory suggests that the specific linguistic construct and vocabulary within a language influence how individuals perceive and conceptualize the natural world. And language determines or shapes our worldview. This theory proposes that language plays a crucial role in shaping individuals' overall worldview and their interpretation of society values and norms. And then the best theory, short thought, is independent of language. The first one is thought is independent of language. This theory suggests that thought process can exist independently of the specific language used for expression. And development of thought precedes language. This theory proposes that cognitive development and thought process emerged prior to the acquisition and use of language, and then language and thought are connected through meaning. This theory emphasizes that language and thought share a symbiotic relationship, with a meaning serving as the bridge between linguistic expression and cognitive process. And the next is sequence of thoughts, speech understanding, and speech production. This theory suggests a sequential process where thought precedes speech understanding and speech production, and thinking in language is a fallacy. This theory challenges the notion that all thought process occur in language, suggesting that thinking can occur independently of linguistic structure. And John Locke's perspective. John Locke's perspective emphasizes the importance of sensory experience and empirical knowledge in the formation of thought and understanding. And in conclusion, language, thought, and culture interconnected aspects of human existence. They influence each other in complex ways, with language serving as a means of expression shaped by cultural norms and culture, in turn influencing how individuals think and communicate. Recognizing this relationship is vital for understanding how people perceive and interpret the world around them within their cultural context. That's all the explanation about language, thought, and culture, and see you in the next topic. Bye bye.